We prepare for the unknown, for those moments when civilization takes a turn for the worse. We stockpile, we fortify, but sometimes it's still not enough. The grid is down. Supermarkets are picked clean. You finally reach your emergency stash, your lifeline, only to find chaos. Maggots writhe in your rice. A putrid stench hits you like a wall. This is not survival, this is failure, and in a real crisis, failure means death. We can't predict every disaster, but we can prepare for them. Stay with me, and I'll show you the most dangerous prepping mistakes. That could cost you everything. Out here in the wild, you learn to improvise. But when it comes to long-term food storage, improvisation can be deadly. Take those blue barrels, for example, cheap, plentiful, and a one-way ticket to chemical contamination. Many of these buckets leach harmful chemicals like BPA over time, especially in heat. Even with liners, you risk dangerous sweating in humid conditions. Your food becomes a cocktail of toxins. To survive, you need to be as tough as the wilderness itself. That means using only certified food-grade HDPE containers, clearly marked with the number 2. Add another layer of protection mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. They lock out moisture, air, and those hungry critters looking to share your hard-earned supplies. We face extreme environments head-on, scorching deserts, freezing tundras, but it's the hidden enemy, the silent killer, that often poses the greatest threat. I'm talking about heat. Even at room temperature, those vital vitamins in your food, A, C, and E, they start to degrade. Oils in your grains turn rancid, robbing you of precious calories, and the worst part, you might not even see it coming. Remember, every 10 degrees Celsius rise in temperature cuts your food's shelf life in half. That's like hitting fast forward on spoilage. We need to outsmart the elements. Aim for a storage temperature between 4 and 15 degrees Celsius, like a refrigerator. Think cool basements, root cellars, or even a buried cooler. Improvise, adapt, overcome. We've conquered the mountains of heat, but now we face a new wilderness, moisture, an invisible enemy silently sabotaging your supplies. You see, even 60% humidity in your storage area is like sending a welcome invitation to mold and mildew. Those powdered eggs you were counting on, forget it. That precious flour you carefully stockpiled, gone to mush, mate. We've got to be as vigilant as a hawk stalking its prey. First line of defense, hygrometers. Place them in every corner of your storage area. Knowledge is power, and knowing the humidity levels is half the battle won. Next, consider your desiccants. Silica gel packets, those little warriors you find in shoeboxes, are a good start. But for a real fighting chance, think bigger bulk silica gel or even rice spread out on trays. Now, if you're serious about winning this war against moisture, you've got to be prepared for a full-on assault, and that means bringing in the big guns, dehumidifiers. A quality dehumidifier can be a lifesaver, literally sucking the dampness out of the air and giving your food a fighting chance. And remember, if you're off-grid, solar-powered models are your best bet. Trust me, a little preparation now will save you a whole lot of heartache down the line. Remember, out here in the wild, knowledge is your compass and preparation is your survival kit. Stay vigilant, stay dry, and we'll conquer this challenge together. We've tackled heat and humidity, but there's another silent killer lurking in the shadows, light. You see those vitamins and nutrients you've carefully stockpiled? They're more delicate than they appear. Exposure to light, even the seemingly harmless glow of your indoor lights, can be their downfall. Ultraviolet radiation, the invisible enemy, breaks down those vital compounds, robbing your food of its life-giving properties. Think of it like this. Every second your food is exposed to light, it's like leaving your survival supplies out in the scorching desert sun. And don't think for a minute that your mylar bags are invincible. Even those trusty protectors need backup. Light can penetrate those thin layers, slowly degrading the contents inside. So, what's our strategy? We double down on defense. First, we reinforce those mylar bags with an extra layer of protection opaque containers. Think thick plastic totes, metal ammo boxes, anything that can block out those harmful rays. And for the ultimate fortress of flavor and nutrition, we create blackout zones within our storage areas. Remember, every bit of darkness is a victory in the fight for long-lasting nourishment. We've got to be smarter than the elements, tougher than the challenges ahead. So keep it dark, keep it protected, and we'll conquer this challenge together. All right, we've covered some crucial ground, but now we're diving into a topic that's often overlooked, the gut check. You see, in a survival situation, it's not just about what you eat, but what your body can handle under extreme pressure. Imagine yourself in the thick of it, adrenaline pumping, heart racing, the fight-or-flight response in full swing. Your digestive system, it's basically hit the pause button. Now, imagine trying to break down a belly full of tough, fibrous grains or dense legumes. It's like asking your car to run a marathon on a flat tire. A recipe for disaster. Instead of fueling your body, you're weighing it down, adding unnecessary stress to an already taxed system. And trust me, in a survival scenario, gut problems are a one-way ticket to misery. So what's the solution? We adapt, we improvise, we prioritize easily digestible foods. Think along the lines of comfort food, but with a survivalist twist. Soups, bone broth powders, electrolyte mixes, these are your allies in the fight for optimal digestion. Easy to prepare, gentle on the stomach, and packed with essential nutrients. Remember, out here, a happy gut equals a strong mind and body. So choose your food wisely, listen to your body, and we'll conquer this challenge together. We rely on cans, they're tough, right? We think they'll last forever. Wrong. Even these metal soldiers can fail us. Remember, we're talking about long-term survival here, not just a few weeks. We've got to think like survivors. Firstly, botulism, nasty stuff. It thrives in those airtight cans, no bulging or bad smell necessary. One bite and it's game over. Then there's denting. You drop a can the wrong way, boom, the internal sealant's compromised, air gets in and rust starts eating away from the inside. The enemy time and temperature, even with a perfect seal, store cans above 15 degrees Celsius and you're just asking for trouble. Oxidation kicks in, flavor deteriorates, and nutritional value plummets. Don't get me wrong, cans have their place, but they're not the be-all and end-all. Rotate your stock every 12 months, regardless of the best-by date. And remember, diversity is key to survival. Relying solely on cans is a dangerous game. So, you've got your stockpile of raw staples, wheat berries, beans, rice. It's a good start, sure. But what happens when you actually need to use them? Imagine this. The grid's down, your electric grinder is useless, and you're left staring at a bag of unmillable wheat berries. You need to be able to process and cook your food. Even in a crisis, a fire might not be possible. Can you imagine trying to survive on a handful of dry beans? Your energy levels will plummet, and trust me, you won't be much use to anyone. The solution? It's simple. Build in ready-to-eat options. Think freeze-dried meals, MREs, energy bars, things you can consume without cooking. And don't forget about manual tools, a good hand grinder, a sturdy knife, a reliable cooking pot. These are essential for turning raw ingredients into edible meals. Remember, prepping isn't just about stockpiling, it's about being prepared for any eventuality. Don't let a lack of preparation turn your survival pantry into a useless hoard. We focus on calories, on just having enough food. But what about the hidden dangers of a limited diet? We're talking about malnutrition, folks, a silent threat that can cripple your chances of survival. You might think you're doing fine on that carb-heavy prepper diet. But after a few months, the warning signs will start to show: fatigue, hair loss, a weakened immune system. Your body needs a balance of nutrients to function properly, and without them, you're running on borrowed time. We need to be proactive. Pack multivitamins, essential for plugging those nutritional gaps. include dried greens like spirulina and kale powder, potent sources of vitamins and minerals. Don't forget about protein jerky, powdered eggs, even liver powder. It's not about taste, it's about survival. Remember, a well-planned diet isn't just about keeping hunger at bay, it's about maintaining your physical and mental strength in a crisis. In the wild, a deficiency can be as dangerous as any predator. Don't underestimate the power of a balanced diet. Out here, in the wild, we worry about bears raiding our food, but back in civilization, you've got a whole different kind of enemy. Tiny, relentless, and hungry. We're talking pests. Mice, weevils, grain mites, the lot. These little guys can chew through plastic, squeeze into the tiniest gaps, and multiply faster than a rumour in Gotham. You think you've got a good stash of rice? Think again. One pregnant weevil and bam, you're feeding an army. Now, you wouldn't believe the things I've eaten to survive, but trust me, weevil-infested rice is where I draw the line. The key here is prevention. Before you even think about storing your grains, freeze them solid for 72 hours. That'll kill any hidden eggs. Then store everything in airtight steel bins, and don't forget about traps and deterrents. A few well-placed mint sachets can work wonders. Remember, in the wild, you're always on the lookout for predators. Same goes for your pantry. Storing food is only half the battle. Out here we push our limits, testing ourselves against the elements. Your prepper pantry, that's got to be tested too. You ever tasted flour from 2017? Let's just say it's not a gourmet experience. Listen, I've eaten things I can't even describe on camera, but the mental blow of a disgusting meal when you're already under pressure, that can break you faster than a snapped ankle. And it's not just about taste. What if your body reacts badly to something after months of eating just your stores? Allergies, digestive issues, even a simple gag reflex can spell disaster in a survival situation. And that's why you've got to treat your preps like a training regimen. Every month, rotate through your supplies, have a meal entirely from your stash, and every 3 months, go full survivalist. No outside food, just you and your preps. It'll expose any weaknesses, any gaps in your plan. Remember, the best way to survive a crisis is to be prepared for anything, and that includes a bad meal. We rely on electricity like it's our right. But out here in the wild, it's a fickle beast. 1 minute it's there, humming along, keeping your food safe. Next minute, gone, vanished. That fancy fridge full of prepped meals. It becomes a death trap in a matter of hours. You think those preservatives will hold up when the temperature starts to climb? Think again. Every seasoned prepper knows electricity is a luxury, not a guarantee. You need backup plans. Redundancy is key, so ditch the grid mentality. Embrace the old ways. Bury your coolers. Harness the power of the sun with solar-powered dehydrators. Learn the ancient arts of fermentation and salt curing. Smoke your meat. These techniques have kept humans alive for centuries. We've conquered the wilderness, faced down predators, but a hidden enemy lurks in every prepper's pantry contamination. One dirty finger, a speck of mold, a stray hair can spell disaster for your hard-earned supplies. Remember, we're fighting an invisible enemy, bacteria. You can't see it, but trust me, it's there, waiting for a chance to multiply and feast on your food. This is where discipline separates the survivors from the statistics. Every step, from packaging to storage, demands meticulous hygiene. Wear gloves, sanitize your jars until they gleam. Use clean funnels and oxygen absorbers, never ever your bare hands. Remember, in a survival situation, every calorie counts. Don't let carelessness turn your lifeline into a biohazard. When the world ends, it won't matter what car you drove or what phone you had. It'll come down to calories, contamination, and control. Those who prepped smart survive. The rest, they become a warning for the next generation. Don't be the guy who stored everything right and still lost it all. Audit your setup. Fix the holes and stay sharp, because food that kills slowly still kills. Remember, prepping isn't just about stockpiling, it's about doing it smart. A single mistake can cost you your entire food supply, or worse. So take this seriously, double-check your storage methods, rotate your stock, and never assume it'll be fine. Your future self and your family are counting on the choices you make today. Stay sharp, stay safe, and keep prepping with purpose. This is Prepper's Edge, where we prepare not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Catch you in the next one.